What's good, everybody? Hope you guys are doing good. So we are back today for another video. I'm gonna get you guys an update on the stimulus situation, because it's a situation right now, guys. I've been reading what's going on, I've been following it. It is a situation. Before I begin though, this is my Twitter channel. If you guys are not on Twitter, you're not following me yet, get on Twitter, start following me. The fun never ends. A lot goes on here. Right now I'm at 166 following, 183 followers. And overall, people here have been pretty nice, pretty friendly, and been learning a lot from others about investing and all that good stuff. So if you got Twitter, let's go ahead and follow me. And yeah, the fun will never end. Alright, so let's continue back to what I was talking about with the whole stimulus situation. So this is fresh off the press today. Mitch McConnell just opened the door for an extension of the unemployment boost, $600 worth, if Trump supports it. Now, if you guys have been paying attention, if not, I'll update you guys. That's been the main issue. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said Tuesday he could support an extension of the $600 unemployment benefit if Trump backs it. The issue mainly right now is that Democrats, they want that $600 unemployment benefit. Republicans don't. They still want that whole payroll tax reduction and things that are going to be more impactful for people who are actually working. Democrats are trying to help people who aren't working. At the moment, that's still the main issue. It's been the issue the past couple weeks, and to confirm, it's still the same issue. At a weekly GOP press conference, McConnell said he could back a negotiated stimulus package containing the federal benefit. We know it's going to be a negotiated settlement, but the American people in the end need help, he said. However, Trump opposed renewing the federal payout in May, and the GOP favors cutting benefits and implementing a 70% wage replacement program. So that sounds a lot like there's a lot to dissect. That's what it sounds like to me. What the heck is a 70% wage replacement program? I have no idea what that means. So hopefully, if they go this route, we'll get some information on what that would look like and what they're going to do for those who are working. Because if it's saying here that Trump, he opposed it, now this is from Business Insider, this sounds like it's probably kind of accurate though, because Trump didn't seem like he was too much in favor of the unemployment thing. That's why Republicans aren't really backing it. But hey, time could change what we're seeing, and we just gotta wait and see. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said on Tuesday he could support an extension of the new $600 federal unemployment boost if Trump ends up backing it. At his weekly Senate Republican leadership press conference, McConnell was asked about Speaker Pelosi appearing to draw a red line on the weekly federal supplement and whether he could support a negotiated spending package containing it. Yeah, so it's going to be kind of ugly. Lawmakers are still $2 trillion apart on a bug stimulus that could bring a fresh round of checks and restart boosted unemployment benefits. That's still the issue. They still can't figure out the amount. They can't figure out what's going to be covered and what's not going to be covered. And just to be clear, I'm not on either side. Both sides got issues, and we're all paying the price because we don't know what's going to happen right now. There's a lot of uncertainty. The $600 federal supplement onto state unemployment checks was enacted in March, and many economists credit it with boosting the economy during a massive wave of job losses. And also, a lot of people, just to give you guys an alternative point of view, a lot of people are also saying that because of that, unemployment numbers are still very high because a lot of people are making more from unemployment than they were when they were employed, which makes it more difficult for them to want to go and get employment if you're going to get unemployment checks that are worth more than what you were getting while you were working. So you can hang out at home, play on your MySpace, play on your YouTube, check me out on Twitter, and you're better off versus going to work and dealing with customers and managers and all that good stuff. Alright, now let's continue here. Why is the second package taking so... That's a great question. That's a great title by Forbes. Good job, Forbes. And this is Lisa. Lisa wrote this article. Lisa, good question. Let's see what is going on here. Where's her mask? Why has Pelosi got no mask? She gotta wear a mask. All these people got masks. She gotta wear a mask too. Alright. So this is House Speaker Pelosi said on Tuesday morning she wants bipartisan agreement, which looks like it's not going very well. As President Trump mulls unilateral action, what will it take for Congress to deliver a stimulus package agreement? A lot, because She wouldn't budge on the Democrats. Yeah, so Democrats are proposing the 3.4 trillion. Republicans want about 1.5 trillion, and who knows how long this thing is going to take. And the House of Representatives passed the Health and Economic Recovery Omnibus Emergency Solutions Act in May, $3.4 trillion budget. Republicans can't rally around HEALS, which stands for Health, Economic Assistance, Liability Protection, and Schools, and the lower price tag of $1 trillion. HEALS doesn't renew eviction protections, which is also a problem. The Democrats obviously had that in their proposal. People couldn't pay their rent. It was delayed. It was put on the back end. I don't remember all the details, but there was some assistance for it, and Republicans did not include that in their package. On top of that, President Trump discussed elements he'd like to see in a second stimulus, like a payroll tax cut. The Republican leadership seems to have already dismissed. Yeah, guys, it's basically, if it sounds like a mess, it's because it's a mess. Trump wants one thing, Republicans want one thing, Democrats want one thing, and in the end, Trump might just go executive order and just pass whatever he wants. Might be the best solution. I mean, that's what it looks like to me. Republican lawmakers are having serious trouble finding agreement on what they want to see in the next package, even before presenting it to Democrats and the president. Not good. Not good at all. Here we go. Then there's the issue of scheduling. The House of Representatives ended its session on July 31st. Today is August 4th, the same day the federal government's $600 per week unemployment supplement expired. The Senate's last day in the session is August 7th. The next session for both chambers won't start until September 8th. Yeah, guys, they just came back from vacation, but it's more likely than not they're going to go back on another vacation. They need a recess. They came back, they couldn't agree, so they need another break to come back and try to agree. It makes sense, right? It makes sense. Congress summer recess poses a big problem for leaders of both parties as they scramble to negotiate the final shape of the second stimulus plan. Why don't they just delay the recess? Is that too much to ask for? Why don't we just, let's vote. Let's vote if they should delay the recess. How about that? I mean, think about it. If you go to work, right, your things aren't done, you just get to take time off and do what you want to do. No, you got to get your stuff done. So why do these people who are basically deciding the lives of over 300 million people get to go on their recess and they're relaxed and they're getting their paychecks while we all struggle? It makes no sense to me. If somebody can make sense of it or convince me otherwise, please, the comments are wide open. I allow for a healthy discussion. Just don't be putting spam in the comments and doing all that good stuff. But if you have a legit point of view, please let me know. Maybe I'm not seeing something, but let's vote on whether or not these people should have a recess or not. I think we should do that. That's fair, right? That's fair. We're paying their salary. We can decide what and when they go on the recesses for how long. I'm just saying. All right, let's continue here. Okay, let's see what we got. All right, you don't want to see laptop deals. Pelosi said CNN a Rules Committee meeting will be necessary to determine how debate and voting would work in the House during recess. It seems likely that members will be called back to Washington, D.C. if an aid package nears the finish line, but reconvening will take some logistical plan. What do you mean some logistical? Okay, I'll figure this out for you guys. So they're concerned about a logistical planning. Here's the plan. You see the NBA? They got a little bubble in Orlando. Nobody can leave the bubble. How about you got a place in Washington? It's a little bubble. They can't leave their bubble. Until the job gets done, they stay in the bubble. How about that? There you go. See? Guys, I'm telling you. We all got problems. Find the solution. Let's continue. All right. The text of legislation will also have to be finalized once the key principles are agreed on, Pelosi noted. But even if a finalized measure passes the House, Senate approval is not assured, let alone agreement from President Trump. Trump's going to be pressured, though. He's going to have to nudge a little bit because his re-election is coming up here in a couple months, and he wants to get re-elected probably. Stimulus package agreement expected by Friday, still not confirmed. So today is Tuesday. Friday is in a couple days. Does anybody have confidence that this thing will get done by Friday? Because I don't. Okay, I know I can be kind of dark and pessimistic or optimistic. I just see things for how they are. I don't think we're going to have a deal done by Friday. That's just me. Maybe they can prove me wrong, and we do, but at this point in time, I don't see it. It's been 4 days since the $600 federal benefit unemployment expired, and 10 days since the last payment went out in 49 states. Lawmakers have yet to agree on a stimulus. But it's very bizarre though. This federal aid ended, right? It ended. But the economy and the stock market, now I know stocks don't represent the economy, I get that. But the stock market is going through the roof. It's every day that's like in the green by crazy amounts. It's hard to read what is really going on, guys. I'm telling you, I'm trying to keep up with everything, and even with keeping up, things don't always make a whole lot of sense. Okay, and they basically confirmed the 3.4 trillion of the HEROES Act, 1 trillion of the HEALS Act. Meanwhile, close to 30 million Americans are waiting anxiously, now formally cut off from an enhanced unemployment benefit that was keeping many of them financially afloat. That's unfortunate. But here's the thing: don't ever rely that you're gonna get your checks. This just proves it. There's no guarantee. Once it ends, what's the incentive to renew this thing? Now I know they want to get reelected and public perception, all that good stuff. But at this point in time, we don't know what's going to happen, guys. So very, very important. You got to diversify whatever you're doing. Don't rely on your job either, because next thing you know, you're going to get replaced by a robot, or they're going to have to downsize wherever you're at. You never know. I always stress, guys, if there's anything you get from this whole video, from my whole channel, this is the one thing. Learn financial, diversified ways of building assets. That's all I can say. Okay, now I don't want to go on a whole tangent. Let's continue. All right, reach deal by Friday. Let's see if we got any new information here. Mnuchin says agreement reached on timeline, deal this week if they can make one pass it next week. Whether the sticks remain to be seen, but even a timeline is at least a minor cause for a celebration given the current state of discussions, many unresolved issues. A lot of bad news, guys. A lot of bad news. But what's interesting is that the market doesn't reflect this bad news, which is why I'm scratching my head thinking what's really going on. Because if this thing passes, well, guess what? That's more money people are spending, right, for their bills. And I'm sure not everybody needs the money for their bills. They can go buy whatever they want to buy. And you would think the value of companies would go up because people are spending more. But it doesn't add up too much. Pressure ratcheting up on Congress. With the Senate set to recess on August 7th, they go on vacation on August. Guys, put this on your calendar. It's very important. 3 days from now, they're going to be on their vacation again. Unemployment lapse continues. Okay, that means if Congress is able to stick to its current timeline and pass a bill early next week, Americans may not see the money arrive until the end of August, which would be more than 1 month since their last federal payment benefit. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Pelosi keeps pushing for $3 trillion despite GOP cost worries. Democrats, they still want $3.4 trillion. Republicans, $1 trillion. So it looks like that we can basically safely say that that's what the issue is right now, because we got 3 sources here all saying that that's the case. And at this point in time, I don't really see a whole lot as to why they can't come to an agreement. They just probably can't figure out what they want to include and not include. And here we go. See, guys, I'm telling you, I'm a freaking Nostradamus. Look at this. President Trump recently suggested he might try using unilateral action, wielding executive powers to bypass Congress and write something into law to mitigate economic damage caused by the bug. As of writing, it remains unclear when the next bug economic relief might reach the president's desk to be signed into law. Yeah, he might just go executive order and just pass what he wants and go from there. McConnell, I'm prepared to support a bug bill that includes $600 unemployment checks. So now the tone is kind of changing. McConnell apparently approves it. Okay, here we go. Key facts. Let's just go over the key facts. I know this video is getting kind of long, but let's just get to the key facts. McConnell said on Tuesday of the benefits, if you're looking for a total consensus among Republican senators, you're not going to find it. So we have divisions about what to do. While Senate Republicans have proposed different cuts to the benefits, including a reduction of $200 a week before transitioning to a 70% wage replacement rate. I don't know how they're going to decide that. Trump said on Friday his support for the $600 checks. McConnell said he would support a bill that included the $600 weekly checks if Democrats negotiating with Steve Mnuchin and staff Mark Meadows agreed to it with President Trump. While it's a sign of a compromise, progress is still slow as a scheduled August recess for the Senate at the end of the week looms over the negotiations, making it increasingly difficult for a bill to be signed by then. Yeah, like they said, best case scenario, end of August, if we get something. Oh boy. a new small business relief proposal, even bigger than the PPP, could be part of the next stimulus bill. Now, that would be more of a Republican-backed proposal. The Restart Act was proposed back in May by Senator Todd Young and Michael Bennet as a broader alternative to the Paycheck Protection Program, the PPP, which at the time they said was insufficient for the needs of the small and mid-sized businesses hit hardest by the bug. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much people got from it, but apparently I don't think people got what they probably would have liked to have gotten, given all the expenses and overhead for owning a small business, but this kind of confirms it. The proposal would create a new long-term program of federal guaranteed low-rate loans, some of them forgivable, with terms of up to 7 years for businesses with up to 5,000 employees. All right, based off what we're seeing here, it looks like the Republicans are much more concerned with trying to have the PPP loan businesses get back on foot, and Democrats, to confirm, are still trying to get a boost for those who are unemployed. That's the same issue, and these are all articles from today that confirm it. Investors are dismissing the risk of an inflation spike. Morgan Stanley says that could be a mistake. Now, here's something that no side has been talking about: inflation. Inflation is going to be a serious issue. And who does inflation affect the most? Inflation affects the most the people who are at the bottom financially. So we talk about the rich getting richer, the poor getting poor, which is statistically true. Now, the causes and why that happens, that's a whole another discussion. I'm not going to go there. However, to keep it really simple and brief, inflation affects those at the bottom the most. That's just one extra piece to create that gap between the rich and the poor. Because inflation, if you're rich and your produce goes from $1 to $1.50, $1.30, it won't be a big deal. But if you're just scrapping by, you used to pay $1, not $1.40, $1.30, $1.50, it's going to add up, and it's going to be difficult to survive. And plus, if you don't get those checks, because they're going on their recess, they need the vacation, guys. They work very hard. They need vacation. Then it makes it all that more difficult, and who knows how the stock market will reflect that. The key points here: central bankers have kept interest rates low since 2008 in an attempt to create price inflation, but their actions did not push consumer prices to where they wanted. Many market players believe this is unlikely to change in the wake of the bug issue. However, Morgan Stanley believes the vast sums of money put in keeping people in work and supporting those that have been made unemployed could make a difference in driving up inflation. All right. Daily new cases of the bug: Florida, Texas, California, Arizona. They're still pretty hot spots at the moment. And in June, the Federal Reserve estimated inflation rate of 0.8% for 2020 and 1.6% for 2021. Its mandate include controlling inflation around 2%. That's tough, guys. That's gonna be tough. 0.8. So here's the thing. I don't know if you guys have a savings account. I do have a savings account, and my savings account today, they sent me an email saying that my savings rate was dropping to 0.8%. So basically, what I have in the bank is just sitting there, not doing a whole lot, because inflation is right there with it. But next year, with 1.6%, if the saving rate stays the same, guess what? I'm losing money. And if it goes to 2%, I'm losing even more money. So that's why you got to figure out a strategy that works for you. And always talk to a CPA, financial expert in your area, so that he or she can best help you with your financial situation. Let's continue here. Congress still a long way from a deal on the bill that would include more stimulus checks. Now they're telling us that these checks might be delayed. I mean, I'm telling you guys, it's just absolutely out of control. Support for federal checks, the second round. Republicans, Independents, Democrats, they all support it. Very small oppose it, but these guys want to get reelected and keep their jobs and keep going on their vacations. They're going to do what would make people happy, and people want another check. Not saying right or wrong, but just the fact is the fact. I mean, we can't deny it. They want vacation, guys. They want to stay in a very comfy spot, go on vacation, have their recess, no sense of urgency, just chill out, and we all gotta scrap something and figure out how we're gonna survive. Let's continue on here. Now I'm gonna go over a stock market, and then we're gonna wrap this thing up and call it a night. Okay, stock market live Tuesday. Dow up 150 points. NASDAQ record close. Stimulus talks continue. All right, lawmakers still divided over the bug bill. Gold prices surged, now up 30% for the year. Okay, So I want to ask you guys a question. Let me know in the comments below. Do you guys own physical gold? Now, I don't want to know how much of it you own and any of that details. I just want to know, do you guys own physical gold? And do you own gold stock? Do you own physical gold? I'm just curious. Like I said, I didn't get into gold too much, for better or for worse. It just, for me, physical gold, I don't like to have to carry it around and do all that stuff, so I kind of stayed away from it. And gold stock, I never really looked into. So if you guys have an insight and input, let me know in the comments below. Alright, stocks closed 6 hours ago. All three major averages closed in the green on Tuesday. The Dow Jones Industrial gained about 165 points for its third straight day of gains. S&P 500, NASDAQ rose 0.3%, 0.36, and 0.35 respectively. The NASDAQ notched its fifth day in a row with a record close. So here's another point. You cannot time the market. Now, some people I've talked to, and this is a fair point of view because I've heard this multiple times, they're saying they don't want to get invested because the market is kind of high, it's overvalued, and they'd rather it drop at a better time. And that's very valid, and I understand where they're coming from. And that's a good perspective. I just want you to consider this though. Right now, these things, the market just closed for a record, right? Fifth day in a row. What if from now until the end of the year, we have more green days than red days? At what point is your entry point, right? So that's the one difficulty, is you cannot time the market, guys. Okay, go ask anybody who's an investor. Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, Peter Lynch, the greats of investing. You always see them say you cannot time the market, and that's 100% true. You can't time it. There's no way of knowing when it's going to go up, when it's going to go down. Look at Kodak stock, right? It was at freaking $2, and then it goes up to like $30, and then it drops. It's out of control, right? A lot of craziness going on. You cannot time it. Just find an entry point that makes sense for you if you decide to enter, and go from there. That's my strategy, right? Dollar cost average. I have an X amount per week. I invest it throughout the week, and if something is on sale, then I might invest a little bit heavier. But like I said, that's my strategy. I need for you guys to find your own strategy and talk to an expert in your area before you do anything. And yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna leave it there. That's enough for you guys to take in for now. So basically, we are still unaware of what's gonna happen with the next check. There is no idea what's gonna go down, and we just gotta sit tight and see what happens. But the markets are roaring, and a lot of uncertainty, guys. So anyways, let me know in the comments below what you guys think is gonna happen going forward with all this craziness with vacation and schools opening up too. That's another thing that these guys haven't talked about, but schools are opening up. I saw videos and images where school's back and running, and there's a lot of kids in a small congested area in the hallways. I mean, I have no idea. If one kid gets sick, they all get sick. Lawsuits. I mean, it's a crazy time, guys. Anyways, don't forget to follow. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. All that good stuff. And let me know in the comments below what you guys are doing during these times, because I need you guys' input and feedback and learn from you guys. As always, stay safe. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being engaged. Until next time, peace.